So I've been saying this for some time. It's like as if these men are like monsters, not in a bad way, but in love and relationships and trying to get along with the opposite sex. Sometimes it seems like these men are monsters. Like they have like monster DNA, and there's no way that like I don't have any of it because I think we are all a mixed bag of hybrids, but I do feel like the soul of mine is like very human. And when God made us in his image, the ether like shook. They were like, you can't do that. You can't do that. They had some kind of like pitchfork freaking ideology towards God making man in his image, giving us his spirit, giving us his love, giving us his authority. That there's something about like the population in the world that was like, you can't do that. And he's like, fucking watch me, dude. Watch me. And we've been living in this time where we are so heavily subtly persecuted, and then when you wake up and you realize and you're like effing around and finding out, you're like, my god, like most of this world hates us. It's like not set up to allow us to thrive. In some situations barely survive, and that can't be the case. It certainly can't be the case because this place was not made to be a total loss. So, certainly, we are living in this realm of monsters and men. We call them monsters. They don't call themselves monsters, but they may look at the people that were made in the image of God as monsters to them. Like, to them, we might be monsters. But the difference is the cultural appropriation, I think, of children and how they're raised. You don't have sex with children, that's effed up. You don't abuse them, you don't neglect them, you don't treat them like crap. You don't put this do everything for me. Everything is dependent on my mood, narcissist type of upbringing. We don't do that, dude. There's an authority in place that's like, you can't do that. We can't raise offspring to be predators themselves, whether their DNA is human, chimera, mixed, whatever. Dude, the singularity is we all agree you can't do that. And that will be the final frontier, is protection not just of all life in the way that demonic people see it, but protection of life in the way that God sees it when he made his creation, the man and the woman together. Not together, guess what? Cursed, right? Problems, like you'll figure it out. And then if you're so distracted by you figuring it out that it somehow falls into the detriment of the offspring, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. This is why love and relationships are of the utmost importance right now. Like you can be like sifting and finding information and following information overload, when really the simplicity is getting along with your fellow man, whether it's monster DNA or human DNA, getting along with your fellow man. And there is an authority under God that is like, we will no longer perpetuate cycles of abuse, of narcissism, of neglect, of a lovelessness. I don't F with people who don't like love. I don't F with people who don't like seeing other people happy. There's a real phenomenon in the world where men think that all women are like somehow weaker sex and they should all be protected, when a lot of these women are manipulative. They have demonic spirits and they're manipulative. So a lot of men are bamboozled by all women, thinking that they need to protect this other woman while somehow simultaneously trying to co-create with this other. You can't. You have to choose whichever archetype you align with, and you have to stick to that. And it might just be one woman for the meantime. It might just be one female archetype, one inspirational person in that moment, and then the thing that happens is people will gather around you. This is why I love being in a good relationship, because you'll see people that can't stand to see other people happy. They can't stand it. Like, they'll stray from you. They don't mess with you anymore. In the end, I think the probable end situation is going to be that of a monster type man and a human type woman, and anybody who comes to try and screw with that alignment, you're going to see people's true colors. And you're not the almighty judge of them. God is. But this is why I love being in a good relationship when it's good, because people will just like scatter, like bugs to a poison, they'll scatter. And I believe this is the end situation. If you find the primordial archetype of one and you put them together with the primordial archetype of the other, judgment. Judgment. Because if you bring it down to a personal level, think about it. If you're in a relationship, if people don't F with your girlfriend, they don't F with you anymore. And that should be the discipline in the nature of a man. If you don't F with her, then you don't F with me anymore. But in this world, unfortunately, the lukewarm mentality of people, they're like, oh, I need to somehow appease you and somehow appease my girlfriend. Nope. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You find one avenue of inspiration and you stick to that, and you focus on that, and you put all your energy into that. And then when people scatter, let them scatter. Don't hold on to them. And the same goes the other way around. If people see you in a predicament where you're dating something, they go, oh, I don't like him. It's like, then I don't like you anymore. Then I don't like you anymore. You got a problem with him. You got a problem with me. This is likely this energetic singularity of the end times, where this is why love is so important. It's because it really gets people into an avenue of judgment, right? It really closes the covenant. It really does. Because if you're so predatory towards one or the other, guess what? Neither of them want to mess with you anymore. And then where do you find yourself? In a sea of people who also feel the same way, in this wide path to personal destruction, when nobody has each other's back, right? They don't have each other's back. They got the cult's back. They're all walking themselves into a slaughter with their ideology of just not wanting to see people happy. So I hope I made my point. I think I made my point. That's it for now. Have a beautiful night. Check again real soon. This is from my Dexter costume. Check you later.